Hello.
Have you got a bit of a problem with, being seen? Because I remember when we were in Thailand and we were in Chiang Mai and you were like, close the curtains. And I must admit, we were on a high-rise flat and I didn't care if anyone saw us because no one knows you anyway. So,
well, I don't know. I don't know what the laws are in Thailand, whether you can, get your kit off in front of everybody. Some places it's not a problem.
I didn't exactly get my kit off and stand in front of
you do. You're the world's worst.
Hello. I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Welcome to the It's a Drama podcast.
Daddy, I love him. My mother thanks you.
If you can't say something nice.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And we're back this week to tell you all about the behind the scenes of Brian's big birthday weekend, just like we promised.
The big 6-0.
The big 6-0. If you're new to this channel, we're Liz and Brian, husband and wife. We're British. We emigrated to New Zealand 14 years ago. And we talk all about travel, family, food, making money online and creating the ultimate independent lifestyle that we all crave.
Definitely.
And this week, like I say, it's a bit of a behind the scenes episode. I love these episodes actually, because you can really get in deep, can't you?
Well,
Just share share really good
It's nothing
stuff.
like lifting the lid.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, there you go.
So last week we talked to you about Bri turning 60. He turned 60 on the 14th of July.
Yeah.
And and I had a wonderful weekend planned for him.
It was a great weekend planned for Brian.
Yeah, it was.
Really, really was. I can now start talking a bit older and slower and...
Well, that wouldn't be hard.
I know, that's what I mean. Life starts at 60, Liz?
Isn't it weird when you hear someone say their own name? When you just said, oh, Brian's birthday weekend, I don't know, do you have that thing where it's like really weird where you hear...
Yeah, because it's your name being said, you mean?
No, I don't know. I'm not used to hearing you say Brian. I don't know.
I've planned something for you, Liz.
Yeah, I don't know. You just said, oh, it was a nice birthday weekend for Brian. But anyway, we're going off topic, but it's just, So I hope you've been wonderful. I hope this week has been lovely for you. It's just gone so quick this week, hasn't it?
It has. But then again, I think that, because I was thinking that this morning and I thought, oh, this time last week, well, we still hadn't planned to go away. Like, I didn't know about going away because it was only on, it's Wednesday today. It's Thursday last week when we did the last podcast. So we're a day earlier this week, aren't we, that we've actually recorded it.
So we're bringing you this podcast again from our home in New Zealand, Deacle Castle and the North Island of New Zealand in Taranaki. And So let's talk about your birthday. Did you enjoy it? Did you have a nice weekend?
Yes, it was a lovely weekend because we did the podcast last week and you told me actually on the podcast what we were going to be doing. So you didn't kind of get excited before, but you got I knew. I mean, the hardest part was like you told me all that, and then I had to go and sit down for 2 hours and edit up the podcast and put it together and then upload it and put
What's wrong with that?
Well, because I just wanted to go.
Oh, did you?
You just want to like, all right, that's it. Its birthday's happening now, but it's just like, no, it's, I don't know. It felt a bit weird actually. But then it was good to get up on your birthday and just spend a bit of time with Sonny because he didn't come down on the same day, but we both went to Wellington, did we?
So what we did, this is what happened. This on Bri's birthday, we got up in the morning because I know you're just dying to know all this, obviously. We got up in the morning. We cleaned our teeth. No, not really.
Yeah, had a shower.
We got up in the morning and we did what we always do on our family. I'm sure you're the same as this on your families. You have these little rituals, don't you? What you do, and you have your certain little things that you always do.
Everyone suppose is different. It's not everyone would do it, but they have the set way that they would celebrate their birthday.
Everyone's got their own little ritual, and ours has always been: we put the presents on the coffee table in the front room, and then the person whose birthday it is doesn't usually come in until we're all ready, and we say, okay, come. I mean, this is mainly the kids.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, ready, come in now, and you go in, and the presents are there on the table. I must admit, I was panicking this year.
Why?
Well, there was 2 reasons I was panicking. One, not panicking, but it felt a little bit weird. Well, actually, 4 reasons.
Not as weird as I was feeling 60.
One, it was enormous pressure, Bri.
There always is, because it's
been making me feel very sick for the last few months, this birthday. It has, Bri. I'm not going to lie. I've been stressed doesn't it? About it.
And it's, because it's weird because it's only What's the difference of 61 or 60?
Well, nothing.
It's just.
And I was trying to tell you that, and you kept saying to me, "Oh, don't worry about my birthday," and then you kept dropping it in. Oh, on my birthday, on my 60th.
Yeah.
Well, what will you be getting for me on my 60th, Liz? And Liz, I don't know. You just made it. You didn't put the pressure on, but I suppose I put the pressure on myself because you think, oh, it's a big birthday and I've got to do something fabulous and brilliant.
Well, I don't like decimalization. So maybe we should undecimalize birthdays.
What does that mean?
So, you go to the proper way of counting, so it would be every, let's just look at it, the 16th birthday, the 32nd birthday, the 48th birthday. It's just a little bit different, and there's 16 years between.
So you don't have a birthday for 16 years?
No, you have a birthday every
I don't
year.
know what you're talking about. Be quiet. I
Oh.
don't understand what you're saying, bro. You're making it complicated, and I'm going to forget my other 4 things that I was stressing about.
Well, it's the imperial way of measurement.
Right,
it's like, because
okay.
you can, if you got, it's a bit like.
So we opened the presents on the Monday.
it's a bit like memory, hey? It's like the size of memory. So your 64th birthday would be the next big birthday,
Anyway, so what I was stressed about on the birthday. No, here's my 3 things. One, I was anxious. I was feeling tense because it was all down to me. No help from the kids. Tessa's in Wellington, so she's not going to help. Sonny didn't even know it was your birthday, I don't think, until the night before.
No, I did. I put it on his Twitch stream.
Did
Don't
you?
forget my birthday on Friday.
So I just thought, oh no, what if it's not good? You always have this fear, don't you, of like not normal birthdays, but big birthdays, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, I would have thought, all going up through that decade. I don't know why this is, but you tend to have that pressure of thinking, I've got to do something really wow.
Yeah.
So that pressure was there. And I was just feeling a little bit stressed about that. The second thing was the presents that you had.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I should explain what I did for your 50th, first of all, because what I did for Brian's 50th, you're not going to be able to believe what I did for Brian's 50th. I can't believe that I did this for your 50th.
No.
So what I did, I started 8 months before his birthday. So back in January, back in November or December. The year he was going to turn 50, I put aside $20 a day, was it? Yeah, because it came to $1,000. So I put aside $20 a day and I went out and I bought him something every day for 50 days for $20. So basically I bought him 50 presents, all around $20 each. Some were like $10 and then I'd spend $30 on the other one. And then I bought this big book, and in the book I wrote down Brian's life from when he was born.
It's like a scrapbook,
to
wasn't it?
when he was 50. No, it wasn't a scrapbook.
Photo album.
A
type
photo
thing.
album, yeah.
Yeah.
And on every page there was a little number, and it said, for instance, it said things like, oh, you were a DJ and, you always wore this really nice aftershave. And then there was a little number by it. And when he got to the number on the book, he had to open the present.
Yeah.
And the present was like aftershave or
A
deodorant
microphone.
but some, I don't know, what was that cheap deodorant that everyone used to wear back in the 80s?
I don't know, whatever it was. There was stuff like that, wasn't it?
That black deodorant, black and red it was on the tin, wasn't it?
Oh, black and red.
Yeah. Everyone wore it. All the teenage boys wore it.
Well, it wasn't Brute. What was
Yeah,
it?
that was it. It was green, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brute. It was Brute 33, wasn't it? Yeah.
And so that 50th birthday for you, and then I ended it with, oh, you love the mountains, and I ended it with this spectacular, and here's 2 tickets to Wanaka, and we're going to the South Island, and we're going on this amazing holiday. So I'd done that for your 50th, and that was just, I remember you cried. You literally cried.
It was. There was so much thought went into it. I think that's what it can see. It just doesn't matter about the presents, does it? It's about the thought that goes into it,
yeah.
you know? Yeah, it really
and
does.
so, and I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, that's a good point. So that was for your 50th.
Yeah.
And then for my 50th,
I did nothing.
No, you did something equally spectacular, which was you booked this wonderful trip to Europe, and you were going to and we went all the way down to Greece, and you made a scrapbook. You copied me, really.
Yeah, I did. I copied you
made a
because it was
scrapbook.
such a lovely idea.
Yeah.
And that's the thought that goes into it.
You didn't give me 50 presents, though.
No, I didn't, no.
But
I
your
gave
scrapbook had no presents. It
Yes,
was
it
just.
did.
No, I don't mean that.
Yes, it had lots of presents.
Which?
Oh, there was bottles of wine. There was lavender. There was perfume.
Oh, was
there was.
it?
Yeah, it had things where, and it would underline, and you would open a present which related to the part
Oh, I
of.
don't remember any of the presents. All I remember is the book telling me that we were going.
Would you like to get me the book out and show you the presents again? The video that I did.
No, I do now. I know you say it. But what I'm saying is it wasn't as spectacular as mine, was it? Like, here's 50 presents coming out to the front
Well,
room.
there was still about 20 presents, but no, it wasn't 50 presents, I admit.
No,
Yes.
but
So yours was obviously much better than my little feeble effort.
So now you get an impression of what we both did for each other's 50th.
Pressure.
Well, no, it was so much thought went into your 50th and vice versa. So much thought went into my 50th. And I feel, Bri, and I'm hand on heart, and I don't mind telling you this now because the day's gone and I don't mind upsetting you, but I feel like I should have made more of an effort for your 60th. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little bit, I've got an excuse. My excuse was, and I've told you this, we've talked about this privately, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, my excuse, not an excuse, but my reasoning was, I've just released my book. It's just been, I mean, literally, I released it last month, and that's all that's been on my mind.
This month you released it. Well, no, it was last month.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
June. And it's just been so on my mind. I've been so immersed in that, and it's been so full on. And I know it's not an excuse, but Tess moving away to Wellington and just the whole thing with the book just made me feel like I didn't have time to, and I know this is not an excuse, but it is kind of, but I felt like I was disappointed in myself that I didn't make more time to put more thought into, you know, what we were doing. And I know going down to Wellington, and next week we're going to tell you about the present. I'm not going to tell you about that now because we haven't finalized it, but thought went into the present that I gave you, you know, the trip basically.
Yeah, but the trip that we're going to go on in November is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, the thing is, it's how much you have to do. You know, it's like, the fact is, doing what you did under the pressure that you had is enough for me to understand that. You know, it was great because it wasn't just, oh, here's a few presents and that's your birthday. You know, you'd sorted out and kept it a secret. The trip to Wellington, which the trip to Wellington was great. Like, you know?
I know. But it's just, the reason I'm saying this, Bri, is because when I turn 60, I expect something absolutely much, much more mega than what I've just given you for your 60.
Wouldn't be hard, would it?
Oh, no. But on that note, so there we are. I've got Bryce, and next week when we tell you about the present, everything will fall into place. But the gifts that I gave Bry on his birthday related to where this present that I'm telling him about. It's a trip. I'm not going to tell you about it yet, but it's a trip somewhere, and all the presents related to that trip.
That type of trip.
So there was thought there.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
But let me just tell you this now, right? And I just want to tell you this, listener. Just listen to this. About 4 days before Bry's birthday, a big box comes, right? And it's got it written, all wrapped in brown paper, and it's got written on the top, Brian Deacle and our address.
Yeah. And
I said to Bry, is this something you've ordered? Because Bry's always ordering loads of stuff. I said, is this something you've ordered? Some nuts and bolts or screws or something? He's like, no, I haven't ordered anything. And so I said, well, what do you think it's a birthday present? And normally you can tell, because if it's come from England, where that's the only place, or America, where Bry's brother lives, that's the only two places that would send us birthday presents, because that's where our family are. And it had a New Zealand stamp on it. So I just thought, well,
who is it?
Who is it? We don't know. We haven't got well, we have my sister, but she would tell me if she was sending something. So this box, wrapped in brown paper, has been in the garage 4 days before Bry's birthday. And I just said, well, look, open it on your birthday, and if it is something from AliExpress that you forgot you'd opened, then we'll just disregard it.
Yeah, but you could tell it wasn't, because it was handwritten. So businesses don't normally do that, do they?
So we got up on Bry's birthday, and here's me feeling a little bit nervous. And I know, is he just going to think it's just rubbish what I've done for him? And I wish Tess was here to make it all good. And, you know, wish I was 10 years younger. And we went into the front room, and I'd put all the presents out. And on the table was this big brown paper box. And then my presents and Sonny's presents. And so Bry's sitting on the couch and we're sitting around. And I said to Bry, before you start opening your main presents, open that brown box to see what that is. Because I thought, you know,
get
the rubbish stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, Bry opens it up. And now this is thoughtful.
Yeah.
It was a gift from two members of they're actually members of our private New Zealand calling group, you know, our NZ Ahead membership group that we have. our private membership group that we have for supporting and helping people who've moved to New Zealand. And they've been members of our group for 2 years now?
Yeah, some of the first ones, weren't they?
They're called Randy and Suzanne. You might have seen their video on YouTube. They're both, Randy's Canadian. Suzanne is actually a Kiwi, but she lived in Canada all
She's
her
lived
life.
longer in Canada than she did in New Zealand. Yeah.
And we've met them a couple of times. You know, their story is they moved from Canada, moved to New Zealand, and they're living the dream. They had this camper made, this motorhome. They're retired, and they just drive around New Zealand, just living the dream and being lovely. We met them in real life. We've had a drink with them one night, and they're just beautiful, lovely people, really supportive and kind.
Yeah.
Anyway, this present was from them.
It was.
And tell them what was in the present.
It was so thoughtful because there was so much thought gone into it. You know, I'd said on a podcast, pipe and slippers. So there was a little pair of slippers there. There was a bubble pipe that you can blow bubbles out of. And they were kind of like the first things that you saw because they were near the top. And then it was all like folded in purple crepe paper, wasn't it? Or blue or purple. I can't remember quite what it was now. And there was so much thought had gone into it. There was chocolate.
Your favourite chocolate.
Yeah, there was like old Git gummies and all just
toilet spray.
Yeah, toilet spray. Like, no shit Sherlock toilet spray.
That's right.
You know, and just all that sort of stuff. And there was a doodle book like you can do, you know, write, or like a diary thing with doodles at the side. And it must have been Suzanne because Randy's not that clever at writing. There was things that you know, just little.
She'd written on every page
little quotes and sayings and things throughout the book.
Just what it is to be 60 and how it is to be you.
Yeah.
And they'd done a framed picture. Suzanne, like I say, Suzanne's an artist. She's a wonderful artist. And she'd done a little doodle, the same as doodles as I do in my book.
Yes.
And it was like a doodle of her and Randy outside their camper, and then me and Brian and Sonny and Tess and Maggie the dog. And it was just...
There's so much thought and
it
time.
Was just lovely. There was a face bar in there. There was some cream for your lips to stop them getting chapped.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
It was a box full of thoughtful goodies.
Yeah. For an old man.
And you know what, Bryce? Seeing your face, and if you're listening to this, Randy and Suzanne, it lifted my whole day. Yeah. It made it so brilliant because now I could just see how happy you were.
Yeah.
You
it was
because
it was
really happy,
it was just
weren't you?
Yeah. The thing is, Randy's a great guy. He is. And so I mean, Suzanne, a brilliant person as well. But it's just like, you know, it was just I can see he would have chose a few of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, and that made me I mean, thanks guys, because on one sense you made my day brilliant, and then the other sense I was thinking, oh my God, now my present's going to look rubbish compared to this. It was so thoughtful, and like you said, that's the key. Yeah. Isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Do you know what I should have done? Randy actually sang "Happy Birthday" for me on the Slack group.
Oh,
and put it as an audio message. It was absolutely shocking. It really, really was. But I should have played it. But good on him. He's a good sport, like, you know, because people said, "Oh, we need to hear you singing it," because he'd written "Happy Birthday, Brian," and this, that, and the other. But yeah, no.
There's some people that you meet in your life that we got to be this age and we never knew them, and they are like two rays of sparkly light that just come around. Brilliant and people. Just they're the kind of people that don't in what's the word, like intrude. You know, they're not in you know, they're not always in your face, or not. They're just there, and it's just like what you did was it made my day and it made Brian's day.
And you think about it, the thing is, we went that day and we left all the stuff all around the coffee table and everything. And all the presents were kind of like that I didn't take with me. We just left there. So when you came back after our weekend away, it was like, oh, there they are. Like,
I know. It was so special, wasn't it? So we opened all the presents, and then we went for coffee with Sonny and some breakfast, and we drove down to Wellington.
Yes.
I tell you what. That was a flipping good find on the way down to Wellington, wasn't it, Brian?
Oh yeah, it was
that
actually, wasn't
chips.
it? Yeah. Meat and chips and howler.
Yeah, because we'd had our breakfast. Well, no, actually, that's a lie. We hadn't had any breakfast because we went down to the cafe.
Yeah.
And there's not much gluten-free stuff down there, is there? You know, that you can have. So we just had one of those chocolate gluten-free brownie things.
It was a brownie. We went with Sonny, didn't we? Because we weren't going to see him for the rest of the day because he was coming the day after, wasn't he?
And so we had a couple of cappuccinos and a couple of these brownies, chocolate brownies.
Yeah, a bit sweet.
They were a bit sweet. sweet. Yeah.
Gets the old sugar levels
It
up a bit,
does.
doesn't it?
And so it made me feel a little bit sick. And so when we were driving, started off well this burst, doesn't it?
I felt great. I still had me brownie.
Woke up feeling sick. Then went to the cafe, felt sick. But anyway, we're driving down to Wellington, and I was getting a
Feeling
little bit. I was, Bri.
Yeah.
You know when you, I don't know.
Do you know, Liz is the funniest person that I've probably ever met. When she'll be really not very well, and she'll say, "Oh, I think I need something to eat."
Well, of course.
Nothing puts this girl off her food.
No, it doesn't.
It
I'll tell
really,
you
really
that.
doesn't.
No.
It just.
No, because I'll tell you what, Bri, if you don't ever, let me give you a little tip if you're listening now. If you don't feel well, this is what you need to do. You need to have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you need to do.
Is it black tea or any tea or
tea,
just any tea?
Well,
Green?
I like green or jasmine
Yeah.
or peppermint or something like that. Actually, peppermint's really nice if you're not. Anyway, whatever cup of tea you like, just have a cup of tea and then have something to eat.
Yeah.
So I was driving down to Wellington and I said to Bri, well, what are we going to do for our lunch? Oh, because we were having our dinner early. We had our table booked for 5:00.
Yeah.
And by now it was like 12:00. And so I was thinking, well, I'm not waiting 5 hours till I have something to eat when all I've had is a chocolate brownie.
Yeah. And we did have a cup of tea in our thermos mugs,
Yeah.
didn't we? Like, traveling mugs.
Anyway, in this town, on the way down to Wellington, the town is called Havana. And we're driving down and I've looked at this place quite a few times and it just looks a bit rubbish, a little bit shacky and a little bit
Yeah, it's just there on the
cheap
side of
and
the road.
nasty, doesn't it?
It looks like a dairy that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bri
It's a
said,
cafe, isn't
why
it?
don't we try going in there and seeing if they do? Oh, outside they've got a sign and it just says hot fries.
Meat and fries. it
Yeah.
says.
And you
Yeah.
said, do you want some meat and fries?
Meat on fries, they call it, don't they?
Meat on fries.
Yeah.
And we went in and it's Turkish basically, which we didn't know.
Yep.
And I'm not joking, it was flipping lovely.
It was great,
Bri?
wasn't it? Because like all the fresh salads that were there and
Yeah.
everything, and it was just like super clean and everything. Didn't look anything like it should be from the outside.
Turkish chef behind the counter, massive big thing in front of him with all the fresh salads, meats, sauces. So we had a big, massive plate. We had a large and shared it. It was $24. It was
$22 actually.
meat on fries with aioli. How do you say it? Aioli. And I can't remember what the other
Hummus.
one.
We had
Hummus. Yeah. Oh, it was lovely. It was so fresh and so tasty, really boiling hot.
Yeah, just literally cooked in front of you. All the marinated meat just gets thrown into the big griddle and away it goes, like,
Yeah. So yeah, we had that and that was just divine. And then we drove on down
It
to
sets us up for the day, that really, didn't it?
did, Bri.
From then on, because it would have been around midday when that was happening, wasn't it? Like, even though we'd had the brownie, it was just like, why not? Because we knew we weren't going to be eating till 6:00 at night. Or 5
o'clock.
It was early, wasn't it? Because we were going to a show, so yeah.
So yeah, we went down to Wellington and we had this table booked for 5:00 down at, it was called Havana restaurant. It was a Cuban tapas bar, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And it was just, what are you laughing at?
Because you didn't know what that was until I told you that it was Cuba.
Well, no, obviously I didn't know.
No,
Bri.
no.
Did you like that little bit of power that you had over me that I didn't know what it was and you had to tell me?
Can't say anything now. It's just off Cuba Street, isn't it? So,
Yeah, Wellington's got this main street called Cuba Street and it's like full of restaurants and bars and cafes and shops and things like that. And then this restaurant was just off Cuba Street.
Yeah, it's one over from Cuba Street, isn't it? Yeah.
And it had been recommended to us by Tessa, actually. Her boyfriend, Finn, had been there with his mum and dad and they'd said it was how lovely it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheap.
No, it wasn't cheap. It
was nice, though.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
Yeah, and it's a very sort of shabby chic restaurant. Gorgeous
is,
colours, isn't it? It's
yeah.
like a greeny, iguana-y
I've
type
always
colour.
wanted to go there because it's
Yeah, me
opposite
too.
the cinema. It's opposite the Lighthouse Cinema in Wellington.
Yeah.
And whenever we go to the cinema, I always look over and think, oh, I'd love to go there. But it's always looked too, I don't know. It's quite, I don't want to say it's unapproachable, but it looks like someone's house almost, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it does feel unapproachable because you have to walk. It's like two old Kiwi Wellington buildings, isn't it? Like would have been small houses at one time, like weatherboarded. And you have to walk down the middle of, it's an alleyway to get to the front door.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's probably a historic building and they're not allowed to change the front of it or something, you know? So it just, because you can see a door there, can't you? But not allowed to go through that one and you're not allowed to go through the other one. You've got to go down through the middle. So that's
anyway,
why it's unapproachable.
Yeah, we met Tess and Finn there and then we all went into the restaurant and the lady met us and she's like, hello, good evening. Very beautiful, actually, wasn't she, Bri?
Yeah.
Very, very pretty. And like very dark, long dark hair and just looked lovely. And she had this lovely dress on. And it said, sit down. And, I was just hoping that didn't smell of fries and chips. And meat and fries, rather.
Turkish meat and fries.
Yeah.
You've been to a Turkish restaurant today?
Yeah. Ooh, what's that smell? We sat down at the table and she took our coats off us and she handed our menu.
Wafted them around.
Yeah, exactly. And then do you know what? It was a little bit cheeky, this.
Yeah.
Because we sat down and I didn't want to make a fuss because it was your birthday and, I didn't want to look like I was a tight old bag. But when we sat down and she handed us our menus and our coats were all hung up, so there was no escape or anything like that, she said, oh, just to let you know, tonight is 15% surcharge because of public holiday. And I thought she said, just to let you know, there's a 50% surcharge. Did you see my face?
I did. I was looking and thinking, it's not that bad, 15%. It's a little bit high, but it's, to me, but your face was like, oh my God.
I honestly thought she said 50%. And I'd been online. I knew what the prices were already. And I was thinking, well, hang on a minute. If I'm going to be paying $15 for 4 olives, and now I'm going to be paying whatever. Now I'm going to be paying $30.
$70 for a bottle of wine. So now you're going to $105.
But as it was only 15% surcharge. And I've got to say, it was, if you're ever in Wellington, go to that restaurant. It was absolutely, well, I thought it was lovely food.
It was really nice because it's like you say, tapas, isn't it? So, a bit of octopus, a bit of chicken, a bit of everything, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was even some Brussels sprouts. I don't think you see them in Cuba, do you?
No. Do you know what, Bri? I'm a little bit, I don't know. We talked about this afterwards, didn't we? What's with the new thing now when you go out for dinner? They give you some chicken wings and a bit of aioli.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're charging $30 for a few chicken wings. When did chicken wings become the new thing?
Expensive. I don't know. It's a bit like belly pork at one time. It was chicken chips, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden it's in all the restaurants.
I know.
Yeah.
And I think chicken wings have gone the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to, like chicken breast, yes. Chicken, even like chicken liver pate or whatever, yes. But
chicken wings
are
pretty hopeless, aren't they, when you think about it?
Well, I love them actually. No, I think they're lovely.
Yeah, but they are because it just, especially if they're undercooked, as in they're not crispy, then it's just like, what's the point of a bit of chewy skin? And that's about it, really.
Did you enjoy your meal?
I did.
Your birthday meal,
the
Brian?
chicken wings could do with being a tad crispier.
No,
Mr.
I don't
Havana.
think so. No, I thought they were really nice.
Yeah, they were nice, but because they were full of flavour and everything.
They were.
Whatever
Everything
they put
was
on.
full of
Yeah,
flavour.
was.
And
especially that some of that. What was it they were using? Was it leek ash or something like that? Yeah, I've never seen that before.
I know.
Is it like must be cremated leeks or something?
Yeah.
And it's or a leek ash, whatever that is. I'm just thinking, because you did say, it's just
so
different.
we had these chicken wings that Brian found rubbery and
thank you very much.
Yeah. And we had octopus. We had these sprouts with the coal ash thrown on it, a bit of leek. And what else did we have? We had what else did we have? Oh, we had
See, it's coming out now.
I
Isn't
know.
it?
Well, I don't want to be negative.
No,
though,
it
Brian, 'cause
wasn't
was
the
your
whole
birthday
the
and it was a
experience
brilliant,
and everything.
fantastic
Yeah,
restaurant.
it was very, very nice, wasn't it?
We ordered a plate of potatoes
Potato.
with a little bit of.
What did they have on them?
Oh no, the potatoes had a really nice dip with them, didn't they? They were just like, but it was like all it was really was just some chopped up roast potatoes tossed in some, spices, wasn't it?
And a bit of mayonnaise.
And a bit. I know, but why? I don't want to be negative.
No, yeah, no, neither. But it's not being negative. It's just it was nice because it's not. That's the worst thing. If it's your main dish, then you'd be like, oh yeah, but you can just have it with a bit of everything else, can't you?
Do you think? And I often think this.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because we cook such nice food at home? Like we don't just eat egg and chips every night, do we?
No, it's every other night. That.
Yeah, we have egg and mash.
Yeah.
We we go the full hog. No, what I'm saying is because we tend to make nice food at home.
Yeah.
I think that plays it ruins it for when we go out for dinner because all I ever think, and we used to own a cafe, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
All I ever think, well, not all I ever think. I try not to think it, but I must admit, I'm telling you the truth here. When I'm telling you, I am thinking it constantly.
Yeah.
When every forkful I'm putting them in my mouth, Bri.
How much is that cost?
Not even, no, it's not about the price. It's just, well, I could have cooked this at home,
Yeah.
Now, if you're in Thailand or Greece, completely different.
Why?
Because when are you ever going to get calamari and have, beautiful bashed calamari, deep fried, lovely tzatziki, all the rest of it? You don't mind paying for that. When you're in Thailand and you're having curries and things that you wouldn't normally make at home.
Yeah. But the thing in Greece, it was cheap.
Oh, yeah. And Thailand was as well.
Yeah. So you don't
But
mind,
what
do
I'm
you?
saying, Bright, is when you go for a normal meal, I'll tell you what really winds me up now.
What?
This new smashed burger.
I know. Why does it have to be called smash?
Well, it's called smash because they smash the meat together. And that,
Well,
I reckon...
it's already minced.
I know, but I reckon Jamie Oliver's brought that out now because everything's, I don't know that for a fact.
I know, but it's just like we've been making homemade burgers forever and a day, haven't we? And it's like, oh, now it's a smashed
So
burger.
has it just turned us into two miserable old misers who don't like going out to eat because all you're ever thinking is, I could have made this at home and it would only have cost me $20.
You always price compare, don't you? Like, and not only that, it's probably just the cheapest meat and chicken that you can buy. Octopus is frozen.
I absolutely loved Havana restaurant.
It was.
And I mean it.
I don't think we should be food critics,
No,
should we?
neither do I, because I don't think we're doing a very good job.
Yeah.
Because I purposely went into this podcast wanting to tell you listening about if you're ever in Wellington, I want you to go to Havana.
It
Do
is.
not
It
listen
is
to me and
lovely.
Brian. We
Yeah.
are tight asses.
$70 for a bottle of $20 wine.
No, because that's how much you're charging.
Is it?
Of course it is. How else do you think they're going to make their money?
Well, 15% surcharge.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But anyway, we did have the 15% surcharge. But guess what they did? They brought us at the end of the meal. They brought us 4 like mini cocktails, margaritas, like they were like what they call shots.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was like a margarita with a hint of tequila sunrise because it had a little bit of should have been grenadine, but it was raspberry cordial in the bottom. Yeah.
And they brought it over on a tray and they were like, happy birthday. And I just thought that was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, it was nice.
I didn't ask them to do that, Bri. You know, like some restaurants, you say, oh, can you bring a cake out for my husband and make him feel special?
Yeah, and
I
sing
didn't
to him.
ask them to do that.
Yeah. No, I know.
I
know.
just want to give a big, although we're being moaning minis, because that's what we do
Yes.
when it comes to paying money for food. I don't know why we do this, but we just do. And I'm sure lots of other people do as well. But I just want to make it clear that it's a fantastic restaurant, fantastic service. And I really enjoyed
the whole thing,
myself.
the whole experience was very Havana-y and Cuban-y.
So after that, we went to a show. We went to see Kinky Boots at the St. James's Theatre. That was, an experience, wasn't it, Bri?
Yeah. I'm not going to say much about Kinky Boots. Nothing against Kinky Boots and stuff but it just,
Did you not enjoy the show?
The show could have been great. It's just, it wasn't particularly, I just don't know whether it was directed or whatever it was. I don't know, because there was some good talent in that show. But it just, I don't know, it just didn't come over.
Tell me the truth.
What?
Tell me the truth, right? Bearing in mind now that you haven't got the presents you wanted.
Yeah.
You've thrown a bit of meat and fries at lunchtime. You get to Havana and you've got some rubbery chicken wings and you don't enjoy the show. Did you have a nice birthday, Brian?
Yeah, I did, because everything was the experience of everything. Because we all discussed the show afterwards and did our own critiques about it and everything So, it's like I'm not.
I
but
thought
I'm
we had
not.
a nice time.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And, that theatre, that St James Theatre, is a lovely theatre and
It's
everything.
gorgeous.
It's so just everything about it was good. I enjoyed my Jack Daniels and Coke in the. Oh no, I had a glass of wine in the
Stop
actual.
turning away from the microphone. Keep your
I
mouth.
had a glass of wine in the theatre. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry if I'm moving over the place. It's just like, I'm
No,
here.
You really have a go at me
I'm
whenever
back
I
here
do
again.
that. Anyway, so the next day we got up and we, what did we do? We went for some breakfast to get, that was
We
nice.
went to Scorchorama.
Yeah, we went to that cafe. It's right on the beach. It's literally, it's just brilliant. It's called Scorchorama in Wellington. And we had cappuccinos. We've moaned about it being too cold before the cappuccino. So we asked for them to be extra hot. And we had scrambled egg on toast, and that was lovely. That was really nice, actually,
Yeah.
wasn't
We
it?
actually had 2 cappuccinos, didn't we? So
We did. We
it was-
pushed
it was
both
good
out,
coffee.
didn't we, Brian?
And the scrambled egg on toast, it was nice.
Do you know what? When I was sitting there at that cafe with my cappuccino in front of me,
Scorchorama, yep.
I just felt this enormous wave of relief that it was over, Brian.
Yeah. You were a little bit drained on Saturday and Sunday, weren't you?
I was.
Because it was just like, oh my. Whew,
Were you
God.
drained on my 50th?
No, I was absolutely fine because I could cope with it.
That's not what you told me. You told me you were drained on
No,
my
you
50th.
do, Liz. It's exhausting birthday sometimes, and it shouldn't be like that because, it should be simple and easy, shouldn't it? But it's not, because you want to make it special.
Yeah.
And to make something special, you have to put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
know?
So anyway, so I was sitting there having my breakfast and feeling relieved. And then we had a gorgeous day. It was such a sunny day. It was warm. It's the middle of winter in New Zealand, but it was just a lovely, lovely sunny day. And we met Tess and Finn and we had some lunch with them, didn't we?
Yep.
That was about 2:00. And I had those mushrooms on toast. Now they were nice. Now let me give a big shout out to that place. It's called Neo, and it's a cafe in Wellington. I'm gonna do a video on this actually because that guy, he deserves to be voted top server restaurant waiter person
definitely
in New Zealand, if not the world. His name is, what was he called? Angus.
I think his name is Angus, yeah.
And we've been
Neo
in there
Cafe,
a couple of times now. He's one of these servers, I don't know if do you call them server anymore? I don't know what you're supposed to call them. Waiter.
Yeah.
And he just makes you feel $1 million as soon as you walk into that cafe.
Yeah.
You can't book a table, so you have to wait. It's always busy because the food is brilliant.
Yeah.
And Angus works there. So obviously everyone from Wellington is going there to see him. And the minute you walk in, he's just like this gorgeous ray of light that just goes, "Hi guys, how are you all doing? This is a great table." And then everything you order, fantastic choice, guys. Yeah. Fantastic choice. I love that.
I've been meaning to have this for the last week or so because it's a special on the menu or something. It looks so good.
That cappuccino look at this cappuccino. It looks delicious. But like some people, when they're like that, they can be really annoying and you think, all right, calm down. He is the opposite of that. He's just,
he's brilliant.
He's lovely. Yeah. So we went there and we had some lunch. What did you have?
We shared a lunch, didn't we, as such, because
I shared the mushrooms.
We knew we were going out for dinner that night, and we'd already had the scrambled eggs. Yeah. So Finn had said to me when we'd gone in, this is Tessa's partner, that he'd said, I really want to try the buckwheat pancakes. I'm trying to think what they were. And they had a crystallized ginger and butterscotch sauce and mascarpone and stuff like that. And I went, I'd like to try that. Liz will probably have one of those. And then Liz just went, no, I'm not.
No, well, I wasn't in the mood for anything sweet.
No, you didn't want sweet again, did you?
So you shared
the
with
brownie
Finn.
The day before. Yeah, so I shared with Finn, and then you got the mushrooms on toast, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was mushrooms on toast, like in a creamy tarragon. Oh, it was gorgeous. And it was served drizzled with pesto.
Yeah.
And
they were nice.
They were delicious.
I had a mouthful of that, and it was like, wow.
And it was all on gluten-free bread as well, so it was fantastic. Yeah. So we went there, and then after that, we went down to the seafront, and we just walked. We got a takeaway tea, and we just walked. And you were talking to Finn, I was talking to Tess. I loved that. Do you know what? I loved that.
It was.
It
was great, wasn't it?
2 hours.
Yeah, because Sonny was driving down. No, he'd actually arrived, Sonny, hadn't he? And
he'd gone to see the show with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But we were just walking down, and there was what are those little fishermen's huts called that are at the side of the harbour? They're called little fishermen's huts.
They've got like little slipways. They're just little small boat houses.
That's it, boat houses.
Yeah.
And they're all painted blue and white. And if you just walk down there, and the owners are just sitting inside with a cup of tea, and they're looking out to the harbour, and it's all sparkly and blue, and sailboats out there, and it was I just thought, here we are in Wellington,
the capital city.
I know. And I said that to Tess. I'm like, can you believe this is the capital city of New Zealand?
Yeah,
it just felt like you were in a holiday resort.
It does. It's just got that feel about it. It's around the Oriental Bays where we're talking. It's just it's in the harbour. It's a big Wellington is a harbour. It's huge. It's a huge harbour.
It was lovely, wasn't it? And then after that, we met Sonny and Hannah. They'd been to see the same show, Kinky Boots. They went to see the matinee on the Saturday, and we met them. We all went back up to Tessa's flat. As we told you last week, she's got this penthouse. Oh, that makes it sound really flash,
I know,
doesn't it?
but it's the outlook around and the balcony is amazing, isn't it? And it's weird because there's just so many windows overlooking you, and it's like watching a TV show. You can just see all these different. Because people always get to that time of night when the lights were on, wasn't it? And there was a bunch of guys over the way there having drinks, weren't they? And we were all waving at them and having a drink with them as such, even though they're right the other side of the road. It's
the complete opposite of how we live, because we live in a house in the middle of nowhere. We've got a neighbour, but you can't see them.
No.
And the other nearest neighbour is them up there, and they're
them up there.
Yeah, but them. I'm just pointing to them up there because I can see them.
Yeah, but nobody overlooks us, is what you say.
Yeah, so we never see anyone. And then you go to Wellington, and you go to Tessa's flat, and you go out. She's got this. It's a penthouse apartment, and they've got like this big wraparound. It's not a deck, is it? It's a big concrete.
But it is.
Balcony
it's a balcony, and it's three sides of the whole apartment, so you can just choose anywhere.
And on every single side where you look is high-rise buildings, either
Apartments
offices
or
or apartments or bars and restaurants. And it's just so cool. And you just, it's like Bryce said, you just looking into everyone's life. I wonder what it'd be like if you lived, like, I don't know. Why haven't they closed their curtains?
I don't know, because it's weird, because you go into the bathroom and it's got a tint on the other side, but at night it's just like normal, like everybody else's, isn't it? But in the day, it's
What,
kind
in
of
Tessa's
like,
bathroom?
yeah,
Yeah, but she closes her blind when she goes in.
Yeah, you've got to put the blind
Yeah.
down to go to the bathroom.
But what I'm saying is all those people we were spying on,
Yeah.
and we could see, and they were just sitting there having their dinner. Someone was watching telly, another woman was ironing,
Yeah.
another person was doing a TikTok video with his
Yeah, they were
mate,
doing a
wasn't
TikTok
he?
dance, weren't they?
It was
Yeah.
like looking into like people's lives.
Yeah, it's like
And you-
watching television.
It is,
'cause
and
it's close, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, you know?
and you can't help but look because you're standing on the balcony and they're right in front of you.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is those people that are in those flats, why don't they close their curtains? Do they not mind that everyone can see?
They probably just get to the point where I don't care. There's so many people to look at. Maybe that's what it is. If you were the only one, then you would be thinking that. But there's like another 50 windows to look in, isn't there?
Have you got a bit of a problem with, being seen? Because I remember when we were in Thailand and we were in Chiang Mai and you were like, close the curtains. And I must admit, we were on a high-rise flat and I didn't care if anyone saw us because no one knows you anyway. So,
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the laws are in Thailand, whether you can, get your kit off in front of everybody. Some places it's not a
I
problem.
didn't exactly get my kit off and stand in front
Well, you
of the
do.
mirror.
You're the world's worst. You just like jump into bed and with the lights still on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I mean, you get to the point where it's like, who cares?
I know.
Don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Well, I'm
yeah.
asking you, do you feel like that?
No,
or...
never. I've never really felt like that.
No?
No.
What, you like to close the curtains and be private?
No, it doesn't really bother me.
Oh, you're
But-
saying it doesn't bother
No,
you?
it doesn't bother me. you know.
Oh, right.
No.
Right then. So then on the Sunday after, oh no, I haven't told you about, we went out for dinner.
Oh,
That
yeah.
night we went for a drink we went to this bar on Cuba Street. It's an Irish bar.
Yeah,
and
I
it was-
can't remember the name of that bar.
No, I can't. I think, it's not Peggy Gordon's, is it? or
No,
something
that's here
like
in New
that?
Plymouth. I can't remember the name now. So is it it might be Murphy. I can't remember. Might be Murphy's or something like that.
And
Whatever it is.
We went for a drink and a big rugby. The New Zealand were playing. The All Blacks were playing, weren't they, at rugby?
Yep, they're playing the Springboks, which is South
Yeah.
Africa, if you don't know.
And so it was like a really good atmosphere, wasn't it? It was
'cause
great.
I did
We were
honestly
sitting
did not
outside.
know that it was on. I should have done, really. But
Why
yeah.
should you?
Because it's the national game and it's the national team that's playing.
But
like,
you
you
don't
know.
follow rugby, so why would you?
And I believe, I can't remember, the South Africans are the world champions. I can't remember.
But you don't follow rugby.
No, never. No.
So then why
no.
should you have known about it?
That's what I mean. You should, I don't know, you just feel like
No,
you should,
you
like, because
shouldn't.
I'm sitting there and it's like, oh, actually the All Blacks game's on. But that's the thing that gets me is like, they're not overly passionate and raw.
Oh, you were embarrassing us, Bri. You were
Well,
being
no,
silly
Sonny
that
started
night.
it. That's why. Because
I
like
think
Sonny
you'd had
just
a
was
bit too
like,
much
come
to
on,
drink."
boys.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and that kind of got them going down the way a bit, didn't it? Like,
Yeah. We've
this is-
talked about this before, haven't we? Kiwis they're not overly, like you say, they're not.
They think they'd be so passionate. They've got such a passionate team of players, like, and they do all the hacker and everything, like, and it's just like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cheer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's almost like, whoa, they'll only cheer if it looks like they're going to score.
Do you know what? We went to this brilliant bar when we were in Florence with the kids. Liverpool were playing one night, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's Bry's team.
Yeah.
And we went to watch them play at this bar, on the
It was
tellies.
another Irish bar, wasn't it?
Was it Irish?
Yeah, it was an Irish bar.
And I have never, ever seen such passion in a bar in all my life. Who
Yeah.
were they playing? Liverpool
It
against
was
who?
it was the Champions League final in 2018 against Real Madrid.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it was just it was
dirty little cheats.
it was electrifying. It was
Yeah.
absolutely electrifying. Now that was a good night. Wasn't
It was a great night because when someone would score, the beer was just flying everywhere, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Like,
yeah.
we all got absolutely soaked from just beer being flung all over, not the glass, but just gets thrown out the glass
Yeah.
over everybody, like.
But that's how it should be. Same with when you go to the theatre, it's always, we've talked about this so many times before, but it's like these people, they deserve cheers, they deserve passion, they deserve claps,
They
just
put everything into it, aren't
let
they?
it
Like,
go. Like
Yeah.
just show them how much you appreciate it. But Yeah, I must admit the Kiwis, they don't tend to do that.
No, they don't.
And we
They'll
always
cheer, but it's not the same. It's just you should be cheering all. Come on, oh my
Yeah.
God. You know, if they don't score, it's like big, but it's almost like they only cheer when it looks like, oh, I think we're going to score, and it's like not like there's a chance of us scoring. I don't know. I think that's just the difference.
So we went to that bar and we had drinks and we got cheering for the All Blacks and,
Yeah.
and then we went on down to a Vietnamese restaurant just off Cuba Street again.
Yeah,
It's called the
old quarter.
Yeah.
The old quarter.
That was good.
That was great.
was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, because we'd been there once before, hadn't we?
Yeah,
So,
and there was
but it
6
great.
of us and we all went and just ordered loads of food and had wine.
Similar
and
again, like tapasy
yeah, it
style
was
with just
great,
small
wasn't
plates,
it?
isn't it? You just order it all, have a little bit each.
Yeah.
It was great.
And then after that, like Sonny was like, oh, I want to order dessert. But I just said, well, should we just go somewhere else for dessert? And
Yeah.
so we walked up Cuba Street. And at the top of Cuba Street, there is a bar called, no, a cafe.
Called Midnight Espresso or Espresso.
And we went in there and had cake and coffee. And, well,
I
I
think it might
had
be
tea.
Espresso as in Midnight Express.
Oh,
But
is it?
It's not Midnight Espresso.
No, it's not. It's espresso,
Espresso
isn't it?
They've done a play on words, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then we stayed out late drinking, like we had, like I say, some cake and tea and stuff. And
Yeah.
and then on the Sunday we got up and had I'll tell you what we did on the Sunday. We
Yeah,
had
that was good on the way back, wasn't
we
it?
checked out of our Airbnb and then we had coffee with Sonny and Hannah. And then we all drove back to New Plymouth in separate cars. But on the way back, we went to a cafe in Wanganui. It's called Wanganui or Whanganui, however you pronounce it, which is like halfway between New Plymouth, where we live,
Yeah.
and Wellington. And
Good.
I'd been to this cafe before with my mum, so I knew it was good. But when we turned up, it was an extra special surprise, wasn't it, Bri?
Yeah, because it won an award for gluten-free
No, celiac.
celiac cafe.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. The Celiac Society of New Zealand.
Yeah, it won
yeah.
like best cafe in New Zealand for celiac or something.
Yeah,
And everything in there you could have was gluten-free.
yeah, it was great.
And so we had fish and chips, and I'm not joking, all gluten-free, and it was flipping lovely.
It was great. It was fantastic. Called the Citadel.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Citadel
it's
Cafe.
a brilliant cafe. It really, really is. Really, and it's just a nice feel about it. There's like a conservatory part that you can go and sit in, like glass windows and stuff like that. And it's just got a real nice old worldy feel about it, hasn't it?
Yeah. And like I say, normally gluten-free stuff, especially in cafes, I don't know, it can just be a bit hit
Well,
and
they
miss.
just go and buy a gluten-free cheap bread from the supermarket, and all their stuff was their own, batter and breadcrumbs.
And do you know what I
and
loved?
stuff.
It was hand-cut chips.
Yeah.
So it was literally, I mean, God knows how they afforded to do it with the price of potatoes.
Yeah.
But it was literally a potato cut into 6, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was like
6
that,
big
yeah,
wedges.
Yeah.
And and obviously you can see it's all hand cut and homemade, and then 4 or 5 massive pieces of fish came out, all breaded, but
$26,
really
wasn't
crispy.
it? It was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$26.
I
Now
know.
then, I don't think then, oh yeah, I wish I could cook this at home.
No, because the effort you've got to go to get fish and chips with all
Yeah.
the, you've got to get the oil and everything and get it hot and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And Sonny had the gravy on chips, isn't it?
Yeah, gravy on
chips and
chips.
gravy. Chips and
Yeah.
gravy with cheese.
Yeah. So
lots
it
of
was
cheese.
really lovely. And then we just drove home and came home and just had a meal at home and
Had a
some
proper meal when
wine.
we got home.
Sat there relishing in how much it wasn't costing us. But yeah, no, it was great.
It was a
So-
great weekend. It really, really was. It was just nice and simple. I think that's what I liked about it.
Oh, and you know what you didn't say about Tessa's present, which was so special
Oh
to you.
yeah, it was because when I'd met her on my birthday, she was running about 20 minutes, half an hour late from meeting us because she was supposed to meet us around 4:30 before we went out because we were going out to the theatre, so we had to eat early, didn't we? And it's like, oh, where is she sort of thing, like, and she came down and she was like looking quite stressed, and I said, what's the matter? Are you all right? She said, oh, I was trying to finish the scarf I've been knitting for you, like, and it's this wonderful like deep red scarf, and she just said, I've been knitting 9 hours today to try and finish it, and she said, and I've still got about another 4 hours to go. So I said, don't worry, like, and then we met her Saturday about 1:00, and she'd spent 4 hours in that morning knitting.
See, that's
to
really
finish it.
special when
Oh,
someone
it's
gives you
super
a present
special,
like
and
that,
it's such
isn't
a
it?
nice scarf. It's just this.
And she showed you all the mistakes that she'd made in it. She's like, oh, this is where I was sitting at home and I ran out of wool, and this is where
I
I was
wasn't
at rehearsal.
concentrating, and that that's what's the beauty of it, and it's such a tight knit scarf that she's made. But it's a rib, what's it called, a fisherman's rib knit or something like that. Whatever it is, it's and you can stretch it, and it keeps you so warm. It's lovely. It doesn't look like a hand knitted one because it's so intricate what she's done. She taught us, and she taught herself.
That's fantastic. It's
taught herself to crochet and taught herself to
not as good as
knit.
my present I got you, though, is it?
No, obviously not. Or was one I got
not
you.
as good as running Susan's. No, it was. It was probably I'm going to say it was the nicest present that you
I think
had.
it's the amount of time and effort that's gone into it.
Yeah, hours and hours and hours of work. Yeah. So that was it. That was our weekend. That was Bry's weekend. So did you enjoy it, Bry?
I did. As like I said, it was a great, fantastic weekend. It was lovely. And, you turn 60 and you think, what am I going to do for my 60th? And you can't have asked for anything better.
What was the most memorable thing?
The most memorable thing? I don't know. Probably Tessa's scarf was memorable, but I don't know. The thing, because I opened Randy and Suzanne's present first, was probably that's memorable. But again, you told me what we were doing before, but I think we've got to keep that for the next.
I think, do you know what, Brian? I think you're struggling here, aren't you?
I am, because there was lots. You can't just say there was just one thing. There wasn't just what was my most memorable thing.
Why don't you just say, holding your hand, Liz, as we walked along the seafront
I didn't know. That's the trouble. You were with Tess and I was with them.
There was lots of nice things that happened.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. No, there was lots of things, and I think your presence leading to the trip that we're going to be talking about.
And we're going to talk about that next time. Can we just say before we go as well, is we didn't know. We're always saying to you, oh, can you leave us a review on Apple and Spotify and anywhere else that you find your podcast? Can you leave us a review? And we thought, when we looked on our reviews, we just thought we had, I think it's like 4 or 6 reviews or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, it's not very many reviews. And what we didn't realise, that every country has its own review. So I think we've got 6 or 7 in New Zealand. But over in the old US, we've got 47 reviews, Brian.
I know.
From our audience
well done,
in the US.
Well done, the USA.
You're winning.
USA.
And I think the UK's got something like 20 or something like that. So we just wanted to say thank you so much if you've left those reviews. We were reading them the other day and we were like, oh my God, I didn't even know these were here.
I know, because that's the trouble with Apple, is like they geolocate you to where you are. So our podcast in New Zealand, I think it ranks around about number 264 or something like that. But in the world, this particular podcast that you're listening to right now is in the top 2% of all podcasts.
I know. Imagine
top 2%, Liz?
I know. We're doing all right, aren't we? By just babbling on here.
Just babbling on.
Decal drivel just every week, and it's bringing in 2% of the population.
2% of the world.
We're up there with the top. We're up there with the big ones.
Yeah, out of the 3 million podcasts out there, we're in the top 2%.
So if you have left a review for us, thank you so much. And if you haven't, we would really appreciate it if you went over to your favourite podcasting app. I think you just have to go to the show. Like if you're on your mobile and you're listening on Apple, I know this because I leave reviews for other podcasts. You go to the show and then you scroll right down to the bottom
to leave a review.
And it says leave a review.
They don't make it easy, do they?
They don't make it easy, but I'll tell you what, they make it even harder for the actual content creator to find these people's reviews.
I know that you've got to then log into your Apple ID podcast and then you find it that way, and you can go from, and it doesn't even tell you there. You have to search individual countries to see who's left your review.
So if you do want to leave us a review, that would be absolutely fantastic. And if you want to just send us an email, liz@itsadrama.com or brian@itsadrama.com, we would love to hear from you. We absolutely love it when you email us and you say, oh yeah, we're listening from Sweden, or we're listening from the North Pole, or we're listening from wherever you're listening from.
And I believe, was it Sharon, wasn't it? Sharon Wright. She sent me a lovely email the other day. I haven't had a chance to reply or anything yet, but thanks for that,
Sharon. You'll be waiting forever for him to reply.
I'm not very good at replying, so I'll reply now and say thanks, Sharon.
Yeah, that was absolutely such a thoughtful thing. Thank you for all your emails and all your messages. It's
get back
really,
on with that
really
gardening.
Okay, until next time, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining in this conversation with us. It's lovely having you and just chatting with us and just listening to all the things that we've been doing over the weekend. makes us feel very, very special. And it's a pleasure to have you with us. So until next time, I will speak to you soon.
Yeah, vice versa. Thanks so much. And don't forget, kia kaha, stay strong, and kia u, stay true. And that's true to yourself. And I won't see you when I'm 61 because I'm 60. No, not 61. It's getting confusing, isn't it? I'll just say goodbye. Getting old.
See you soon.
See you then. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today on this episode. We have loved having you here. If you haven't yet bought a copy of my brand new book, The Travel Bog Diaries, then I would love you to go and grab yourself a copy. If you are a traveller, if you are a parent, if you are an aunt or an uncle, or someone who just loves a really good laugh, then you will love the stories that are within my book. It's all about travelling the world as a family with very little money, far too many hormones, and very, very little patience. It's honest, it's real, and it's such a good laugh. You will absolutely love it. You can grab a copy of that book right now by going to www.thetravelbogdiaries.com. Go over to there. The page tells you where you can buy it from all over the world. I really, really appreciate you for doing that. You will love the book. And if you have already bought the Travel Bog Diaries, thank you. I appreciate you. Bri appreciates you. And if you have got time, if you've got a spare 5 minutes and would like to leave me a review, that would mean the world to me. You can do that by going to www.thetravelbogdiaries.com/review. Just hop on there. It literally takes a few minutes, but it means the world to me. So thank you so much. Me and Bri love you. You're fabulous. Have a brilliant week, and I'll speak to you soon.